My name is Bettina Starke. I come from Germany originally, but I've been living in the UK for over 40 years, and I have neck dystonia. I was diagnosed very soon after the onset of my first symptoms in 2008. One of my first questions to the neurologist was, what can I do to help myself? And he just gave me a sad smile and said, nothing, dear. I think I'll have to inject you, and maybe you can perhaps also benefit from some medication. My symptoms were like this, would have been like this. This would have been the default. And they were quite severe insofar that I had only minimal control over my head posture. Say, I could, when I brought the head back straight forward, I could maybe, if I walked, I could walk 3-4 paces, and then my head would be like that again. And I was treated with botulinum toxin over, I don't know, 10 years, I think. 9 years. But, and for a very brief time, for 9 months or so, I agreed to be put onto Artane as well, which is also called trihexyphenidyl. That didn't agree with me, and I stopped taking it. All this time, I was on a search for what I could do to supplement the treatment I was receiving at the clinic. And in the end, I went and saw, I think, 6 or 7 physios in 3 different countries, and partly received instructions, exercise instructions, and so on from them, and also massage treatment and so on. The final physio, whom I still see every fortnight, I met in 2011. I was very lucky. She had a very good experience with dystonia, and insofar that her husband was suffering from it as well. And I could not detect any dystonic symptoms in him because he had done the physio, the exercise program, and it had obviously worked wonderfully for him. And I wanted some of that action as well. 2 years ago, my physio, just in order to try and preserve her own hand and arm strength, bought herself this massage tool and started treating me with it. And after the second time that she treated me, I went into remission insofar that my symptoms went completely for about a day and a half, and then they came back. So I had an inkling of what this tool could do. And I asked her, did she think I could buy that tool as well? And would it be okay if she could teach my husband to massage the muscles on my neck and shoulders? And she said, yes, no problem. And she assured us that there wouldn't be any nasty side effects. Nothing could really go wrong. We did make sure that initially, while I was still on Botox, that I would not get this treatment, say, for the first 2 weeks after my Botox injections. But very soon, I could drop the Botox. So this was 2 years ago. And about a year ago, I invited myself for an appointment with the neurologist whom I had seen for Botox injections. He was very open-minded, which I had always been grateful for during the years that he treated me. And I showed him this tool. Of course, he also saw my neck and immediately picked up his mobile to phone one of his assistants and also said to her, please, you must come, and you must also bring the camera, because this fits just into the project we're working on, which is a self-help project, what patients can do for themselves. So yes, I'm still without Botox, and long may it last. So there is a blunter part of the edge. There's also the spur, and there's a thinner part of the edge. And every other day, my husband rubs my muscles, say like this. If this is the length of the muscle, he rubs it like that with a bit of body lotion or something. So the neck muscles and, as I said, the shoulder muscles. The session takes about 10 minutes or so. It's quite invigorating. It feels great. And it feels like a real release, because in the meantime, in the sort of day and a half before the new treatment, my muscles have probably gone back into spasm a little bit, but they never get a chance to actually lock into overfiring. And this is the idea behind it, that the vicious cycle is broken. When my husband and I travel, at least within Europe, we try not to check in our luggage. We go with smallish suitcases, and I daren't take this through the airport controls. So we use this comb instead. The edges of the comb, they're just as good. So people, this tool was not cheap, and there are many, many on the market, and I'm sure they can do the job as well. And I've heard of people using a knife, the handle of a cutlery knife, or I've heard of someone using a shoehorn, that you put your shoes on with. So it's horses for courses. It's just, a tool that you can find which is comfortable for you. And another thing that I was told is absolutely important is to think of your posture during all waking hours, to bring the shoulders back and down and have a straight spine and in profile. And that is a good foundation for alleviating things like neck dystonia symptoms. That's a start. The types of dystonia and dystonia symptoms vary so much, and I can't imagine that there's one panacea that works for everybody. You have to try things out. My search took until I found my physio. Took me 3 years. Actually, not too long. I'm sure other people's search takes much longer. So yes, I think I was quite lucky. Don't give up. Once my husband heard that this was incurable, he saw me. He had just retired. He was going to see me every day, and he saw me every day. And his devastation was really quite shocking. I thought, why does he have such a long face? I'm the one, and I can cope. I'm the patient. And I think I underestimated. I didn't take that on board, that it doesn't just affect me, it affects the people around you as well. And it took me some time to learn that.